So, all three of you are in the 2X mindset as well. And, before we had a chance to talk to some of the guys about what that mindset and what that shift has done for them, for their law firms and for their lives and things like that. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of go down the line. And if you could each take about maybe a minute and a half and just tell me what was the struggle that you had or the problem that you had prior to kind of getting involved with our program and making this shift in mindset to where, you're going to really focus on this 2X mindset. And I'm going to let Karen go first.
I don't know.
Is it on?
I don't know.
Can you guys hear her?
Can you hear me?
Yep, there you go.
Okay. I think for me, I've grown each year that I've been in business. I've had my own practice since 2000, and I do family law. But I think that the biggest struggle was focusing in the business, doing the work. As an attorney, I enjoy custody litigation more than anything. And I didn't really focus on the things that I listened to everything that Andy and Bill says, and this quarter, I made my quarter goals to focus on my Google reviews and my strategic partners. And I didn't really ever focus on the strategic partners. I get a lot of requests on LinkedIn. I don't have time to answer everybody that wants to build a strategic partnership with me. But I started focusing on that, and I really am already seeing the difference on that. And I made the team that I have, and some of my team is leaving, but I made the team also focus on that. And it really does make a difference because it does bring in business. So I want to thank you for those tips.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Awesome. So, Deidra, what did you struggle with before you came into the program and started kind of taking on this new mindset? And you're on the coaching calls. You ask lots of questions, so you're very you're all into this mindset.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I am. Well, I grew up as a I was a high school dropout. I was a teenage pregnant mother who went through a lot of domestic battery. I was in and out of juvenile detention. I have a criminal record, which I will never expunge because I want to use that to show other people that you can overcome your obstacles. So my biggest struggle was always going back and forth with the poverty mindset because I come out of it. So I always have to remind myself that you can do it, right? And so one of the things that Bill said is what Jocko did to him that called him out. And I remember one day I was on one of the videos with Bill, and I said something about, oh my God, this $6,000 or whatever, so much. And I'm thinking, like Bill's about to give me like a thumbs up, like, you did it, girl, we're gonna move forward. And he was like, I'm gonna come back to you. I was like, yeah, he's coming back to me, right? No, he came back to me to rebuke me because he was showing me with love that was a poverty mindset. And then and I just told my friend back home this morning, I talk about you guys every day. Every day I'm talking about something Andy has said or something Bill has said. And last night, I went to Bill, and I said, Bill, I need this vibe board, right? And Bill said to me, and he probably doesn't even know that he was doing this, but Bill holds me accountable to break me out of my mindset, even when I'm slipping into it and don't know that I'm slipping into it. I said, well, give me this. I even asked you, Andy, and I think I even asked the S&B team, like, find a way to get me the vibe work. And Bill said to me, buy it yourself. And so I could have took offense to that, but I immediately realized that was the poverty mindset of getting something free. So it's taken me a lot of courage today to say, I don't even want the vibe board. Give it to somebody else because I'm going to buy it myself, right?
All right.
Okay? So now, but if y'all want to, y'all can still do that. But, I'm making that announcement now.
Now,
so
you see, the problem is if you do win, now everyone here is going to think it's rigged.
It's going to be rigged. Okay. So that was my biggest struggle. And so I appreciate the S&B team because you and Bill are a perfect match. I actually refer to Bill as Daddy Bill, and I refer to you as Big Brother Andy.
Oh, they can call you Mommy Bill.
No.
Okay.
And this is the reason why.
I thought you were going to say Mommy, too. I was never going to let him live that down.
Because when your father is always hard on you, right? And sometimes you don't want to take that advice from Dad because Dad is right, but Dad's always got to give it to your heart. Your big brother can tell you the same thing that your father is telling you, but because you guys are closer, you'll get it. And so you guys are such a perfect team for me. I don't know about anyone else, but for me, I needed that balance because if I have a high go-getter person, because I am just like Bill, but I don't have somebody that's kind of like, slow down, I will just jump off of a cliff. And so I see you and Bill as like the perfect team, and then I'll pass it on in a few minutes. And then the other thing that I appreciate is because everything that you guys are saying, I take it back to biblical principles. I'm a woman of faith.
Yep.
I take it back to biblical principles, and everything that comes out of your mouth, you don't have to say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You teach the principles, and then you apply it, and it's absolutely everything that I'm learning in the Word of God.
Oh, fantastic.
Wow, give it up for
Fantastic.
Deidra.
Deidra,
Give it up
thank
for
you.
Karen again.
And Karen as well. We can get up for Karen as well. I
Yeah,
forgot
let's
to
give
give
it
a
up
round
for
of applause for
Karen.
Karen. All right, fantastic. All right, so Tamara, so what was the thing that you struggled with before you kind of came into our world?
Yeah, so by way of introduction, nice to meet you, Andy.
Nice, great to meet
and
you as
Bill,
well.
it's a real pleasure. So my name is Tamara Benefield Falk. I'm a 20-year attorney, family law, and I'm in Beverly Hills. So what I struggled with is just kind of the wrong programming, the wrong thinking, that you should focus more on the evidence code, that you should go to more trial advocacy classes, that you should become a better cross-examiner,
Yeah.
that you should become more persuasive, know your judge better. And, I feel like a tectonic shift has happened to me, because once you max out on your capability and you hit a wall and you're just stumped in your income level, right, in your bracket and where you're situated, you just get to a point you're like, this just isn't working. And so you look for something different. So I knew I needed something different, but I didn't exactly know what. So now that I've been a part of the SMB team for the past 3 months, the tectonic plates have like completely shifted in me. And it's just been like this process of me going, I'm gonna throw out this tape that says, hey, become a better lawyer, become a better advocate, and do all these things to maximize your advocacy. And then now I'm like, oh, I'm a business person, right? And so I think the biggest mindset shift for me is just becoming a businesswoman, becoming an entrepreneur,
That's fantastic.
becoming a strategist, becoming a visionary. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but like, imagine this, just yesterday I sent an email to a guy who talks about NFTs and the blockchain, and I said, how do you think it would work for me if we talked about putting divorce on the blockchain? Because I just want to open up the
There you go.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just think ahead. And now I had a wonderful experience with Mark Reel here. And for me, it was pivotal because he invited me and interviewed me for about an hour. And we zoomed out about the state of the family law courts. And we talked about things like custody and domestic violence. But what happened to me interpersonally is that I got over many of my long-held incorrect ideas. So I had shut out social media, right? I value my privacy.
Yep.
I don't need to share who I am. I'm
Yep.
just brilliant. You'll figure it out. Ego. Wrong programming,
Yep.
right? Just wrong,
Yep.
wrong. And so in that process of speaking for about an hour, I found my voice. I feel like I tapped into who I am, and I'm never gonna stop showing who I am anymore again. I'm not gonna hide. I'm not gonna close the door. I'm gonna open the door. And the beauty of this particular program is that it's so well defined and structured that it's a process of changing your most basic thought process. And that's the first system and framework that you have to change. And for me, this process has just been enlightening. So thank you.
I
Awesome,
love it.
awesome.
I want to actually
Round
hit
of
on that, Andy,
applause.
because everyone thinks that, like, we run this coaching program, right? And it's not a secret. And everyone thinks it's Bill, like, just yelling at people the whole time. And does that happen? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, a little bit. But the processes far exceed how I teach them. Like, I'll just leave it there. I mean, like, the framework and the system and the 3-year prescription and the quarterly pulse and like every single week of your quarter being planned, I just want to point out, whether it's us or someone else, like, I'm not selling anything right now. All I'm saying is a system will have way more impact than motivation. Because I'm expecting everyone in this room. Can I get a yes if everyone in this room is pre-motivated in 3, 2, 1?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not here to motivate you, right? We always say, Andy and I always say, we're searching. We're not, what is it?
We're not searching, we're sorting.
We're not searching, we're sorting. All of our content, we're not searching for new attorneys to find our content. We're just sorting. We're going to keep putting out the content, and we're just sorting through who does this resonate to. And it's the pre-motivated attorney.
Absolutely. All right, awesome. So we've got about 5 minutes left, and now I'm going to hop into some content here. But I want to find out real quick, these last 5 minutes from each of you, now that you're a part of this process, how has this impacted, like what have the results been on your life? Like how has this changed your life, Karen?
Well, I think that listening every week, because you have the coaching calls, helped me. So right now I'm going through a crisis in my law firm, and it helped me stay centered. My crisis is every person's nightmare probably in this room. When Bill had said on one of the seminars I listened to, be prepared for the day when everybody walks out of your office. It's not quite as dramatic as that, but it is pretty dramatic because I have 3 lawyers. I have a total of us 5, but 3 which are the heart of the firm that decided last Thursday that they were going to another firm, all to the same firm. So, I was on my coaching call with Bill on Thursday when all of this was going down, and I tried to stay grounded and continue to listen. I had to turn off my camera and field calls and all this other stuff, but it really helped me stay calm and focused to the point that on Saturday, I had already begun the scouting process because I was looking to grow, and I was also preparing for my worst case scenario, which was the day that everybody would walk out. And because what he had said is when you make change, there are going to be people that are not going to be on board with it. So when I started and I rolled out, here are my quarterly boulders, people that didn't want to engage, didn't want to reach out to strategic partners, didn't want to reach out for Google reviews, they decided this wasn't something that they wanted. But I had already been scouting out people that would. So on Wednesday, I had interviewed for the second interview, somebody that I was really interested in, somebody that I thought would really help grow the firm, somebody that is smarter than I am technologically, experience-wise. And I had said to him, don't worry, on Wednesday. I said, no, there's no rush. I'll talk to you on Friday. I'm very interested. The first reaction was Thursday, I got to call this guy up. I need him. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till Friday. Our call's scheduled Friday. So on Friday when I talked to him, I'm like, listen, I really want to be real with you. Things changed since I saw you on Wednesday. The 3 lawyers, they're walking out, and they have 90% of the business. So if you're up for the challenge, I need you as soon as possible. He came and met me 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, worked with me Saturday and Sunday to save the firm, and I would say probably a good 75% of my clients are going to stay, and he's been working round the clock. So, if I didn't have this, I probably wouldn't have had the feeling of support and the centering and the calmness, because I had calmness. And the other part of it was, being in that peak state. So I've been trying for, 3-4 years to lose weight. I had lost weight. Maybe 4 years ago, I dropped 25 pounds, came in second of the weight loss challenge. It came back on when I hit menopause. And I have been trying. I know all the tools. I read the tools. I listen to all of the growth and the motivational speakers. I read the books. Every book that Bill mentions, every book that was mentioned by Craig today. I already bought it on Amazon while I'm sitting here. He mentions it, I buy it on Amazon. I read the books. But I know what needs to be done, but I didn't have the motivation or the push. Since Thursday, I have eaten clean. I haven't had a drop of alcohol. I have done nothing, and I am confident that I will reach my 2022 goal on my weight loss, because I know I need to be in a peak state when you're going through a crisis like this. So I look at it as a blessing. I have another guy coming on Monday that I am, hiring. I already talked to him. He's coming. He's going to add to the business. And again, it's somebody smarter than me, somebody that's better. So I'm really excited about the future. It could have been a crisis where, I even reached out to Bill, and it's like, don't do what a person would normally do. You might feel sorry for yourself or get depressed, but it's an opportunity for growth, and I'm excited about the future. And now I really do believe that I'm going to probably double, if not exceed that goal this year because I've already brought in a whole nother practice with me and expanded into criminal law. So I'm really excited.
All right,
Round of applause for
fantastic.
Karen, everyone.
Round of applause. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, Deidra, so what has the effect been since you've joined?
This team has, I've always been a go-getter, but this team has taught me to go after what I want, right? Even at the next level. A perfect example, I think it was 2 weeks ago when Bill was interviewing Daryl Isaacs. And he said, listen, I'm gonna get Daryl's phone number for you guys, right? I'm like, I can get the phone number myself. So as he's sitting there interviewing Daryl, I'm already emailing Daryl's firm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I need your phone number. Hey, I'm sitting here watching you. He said he was going to give the phone number out. So, I mean, if the person himself says he wants to give the phone number out, then go after what you want. Even with, David Buckley, I have attached on to individuals that I feel, now everyone's in here is great, but I know my personality, right? And so I have attached on to people that I know that can motivate me, that's smarter than me. I know that that's Bill, that's you and Bill, you and Andy, Bill, and David, but also Daryl. And one of the things that Daryl said to me when we were talking is he said, I'll mentor you, Deidra, but you got to make me one promise. And I'm like, okay, what could I give Daryl, right? Yeah. And he said, treat me like a normal person. Do not be starstruck. And he said, if you can treat me like a normal person, like you would treat any of your other friends, I got you. And I was telling my husband about this, and he said, but he's personal injury. It doesn't make a difference if he's in a different area of law than me, because I'm not looking to learn personal injury. I'm looking to learn how did he get these billboards every 10 seconds on the highway, right? And so I grab on to people that I believe that can help me grow. Now, I'm not going to be able, I only got one billboard, but like I told Bill, I see a vision. But I think this team has really taught me to go after what I want and go after it at the 10X level.
Phenomenal. Thank
Love
you, Deidra.
that. Love that.
Awesome. Round of applause. And Tamara, what about you? What has the effect been so far since you've joined everything?
So far for me, it has clarified just when you have these moments of just crystal clarity in your life and you just become laser focused on the goal. And I love that phrase that's been used when you become monomaniacal.
Yep.
Well, when you just laser focus and just insist. And so already I've gone through a hiring process. I've made offers. I hired I'm just finding that the learning curve, it's accelerated already, consistent with my goal of 4X. So I've already experienced what it means to create rapport, have metrics by which you measure performance, meet with your team. People don't like when, sometimes the wrong people don't like when their performance is actually being tracked and measured. And so already I've gone through a cycle of hiring, people resigning because they're not in alignment.
Yep.
And so just that clarity though of what I'm looking for in a paralegal, in a legal assistant, and an attorney. And so it's just been habit forming for me. Just now I have better personal habits, just getting up, being clear on capturing my leads within an hour. I don't care if I'm in court multitasking. Today I multitasked and I had to make a court appearance because unfortunately I'm still an implementer. But just having the mindset that I have to move from making these appearances.
That was an identity. You just called yourself an implementer. You just trapped yourself.
No, unfortunately is what.
But you still labeled yourself an implementer.
Oh, I'm not. But
You're not an implementer.
Yes. Point of distinction. I am
Always
still
coaching.
trapped in the prison of implementation.
You are, exactly. You're a visionary who
AKA
happens to be implementing right now.
Absolutely. I am in the process of becoming a visionary. And so, you've got to take care of your basic work for a moment while you make that transition.
Yep.
So I'm 3 months in, I'm early on, but I'm just really laser focused on my goals. And of course, you see the revenue already. You see the law of exponents in motion when you become faster, more energetic, more communicative, clearer, and you're doing more through your day. So I just think the productivity for me personally is just corresponding with my income shift.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm already seeing it's coming faster. My processes are becoming, better and more automated, and I'm delegating, and things are happening, and money's coming in without me having to micromanage every single process.
Fantastic. And you're getting away
So-
from that implementation and moving on.
There you go.